Second half of the handicap division Touring Players Championship title match. Top seed James McGuff in trouble here in the 7th frame, and there could be the beginning of getting out of trouble. He's getting 13 pins of handicap against Shauna Schultz, who's won 2 matches to get here. Schultz right now leads on the scoreboard by 30, minus the 13 she's giving, so a 17-pin lead, spare working here in the 7th frame. McGuff has nearly led this tournament wire to wire. Shauna's been lurking around that 3, 4, 5 spot most of the tournament, and boy, do we have a potential flip-flop frame here. Is right after McGuff strikes, Schultz comes up with a DOA ball there and leaves the pocket 5-10. Ouch. Been showering Shauna with praise for increasing her ball speed. There's a 2-8-10 conversion from Hansen over here. And let's see if Schultz can convert the 5-10 at the same time. Well, we finally got a 2-8-10 conversion on camera, even though we caught just barely the corner of it. That's a huge conversion for Daniel to stay alive in the title, in the semifinal match over there. And we're going to ice the kicker over here with a blackout. Can somebody, anybody? Anybody, yeah. Thank you so much. No one's up immediately on that lane. We'll try and get that blackout fixed. Schultz is wide right again. And oh, how this match is completely turned upside down over in handicap. So that's Hornacek and Hansen, just to recap, in the semifinal over there. This is the title match here, $2,000 for the winner, $1,000 for the runner-up. So they're both winners, just how much will they win? Nervous frame here for Shauna. Oh, and chops the 1-2 off the 8 that's back-to-back opens, and the lead that she had when she stood up to bowl those 2 frames has evaporated. She leads by 6 on the board, but it's giving 13, so that's a 7-pin deficit. This is Hornacek on a 4-bagger, by the way. 7 shakes, but doesn't fall. Still has a nice lead, even with that big conversion. We'll see what happens over there, and while we're working on the blackout, we'll focus on them a while. Just unbelievably impressive bowling out of all the scratch finalists. Anybody who could average 200 over the course of the weekend is a miracle worker. Yeah. Because every single pattern really tested these guys. Going to use the strike ball off the 7th pin, but flatten it out. And just barely cut it. Bobby the Lone Californian over there. It was 3 out of 4 Californians in the handicap ladder. 3 out of 4 Northwesterners, as there almost always seem to be in the scratch ladder. Alright, we got the lane breakdown fixed. And here comes the key shot of the tournament, right here. McGuff was trailing last time he threw a bowling ball. It was a strike. If he can somehow find a way to dig out a double here, that would go a long way. Capturing this title. Here's the shots. No! And instead, he's going to throw the open right back at Shauna, and we're going to go back and forth, looks like all the way to the 10th here. Virtually unmakeable split. By far the best thing for him to do here is to get those 2 pins a count, so the count could definitely come into play at the end. Younger bowlers don't always think about that. Let's see what happens on the fill ball here. Alright, he is going to get the 2. Very nice. That's all he can do at that point. That gives him 101 or 111 through 8, so he trails by 18 on the board, getting 13, so he trails by only 5. Both bowlers on opens, 2 frames to go. Title match of the most important tournament we run. All right. Pretty good shot. Great shot. Good. What a huge shot from McGuff in the 9th frame here. Essentially untested in this situation, comes up with the goods in the 9th. How can Shauna respond in the 10th? Shauna, try hitting reset just to see. Whoop, looks like could, I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson to the rescue in this critical moment here is going to run and get the blackout. Look at that guy. That's how he stays young and trim in his old age. Well, you know, we talk about icing the kicker in other sports. Here's the bowling equivalent of that. What do you do if you're Sean Schultz right here? So close. It's such a big title. Has the lead. Her opponent's a complete wild card. He could strike out. He could go 2-1 in the 10th. You don't really know at that average level. And you got to sit there and block all of that out. Pretend you're just bowling, cosmic bowling with your friends at home. Somehow throw a strike for $1,000. That's the scenario for her. And her family over here waiting everything too. Big crowd watches the TPC, of course, every year. You can stick around for that, even though it's Sunday night after an awful lot of bowling. Took them 23 games just to make the step ladder. 10 games of qualifying, 5 games of quarters, 8 games of semis. This is a protracted delay at this point. This is disappointing. Machines have worked really well here all weekend long, by the way. We've seen very few lane breakdowns. And here we are in the 9th grade title match. Well, some of the things that just happen in our sport. It's a mental challenge sometimes as much as physical. I think one last mental hurdle for Shauna to attempt to overcome. We're about ready to find out if she can do it. Award-winning camera work right here, by the way. Where's that cut off her head? We try. We're very high budget here. Things will be coming down in just a second. Pre-shot routine, we talk about it so often. Yeah, blacked out again. Ugh, and you can see the frustration. Don't blame her for being frustrated, but she's got to not end up upset about it. No, I'm sure he's working on it, but I just wish the guy that's with us the entire tournament wouldn't disappear for $2,000. Well, it's unfortunate. Now, what you said, Mr. Thompson, running the third time, it's lead 48. Sprint. Runs! This can't be easy on James either, as all of his momentum is completely squashed there. That strike he threw in the 9th must have felt like 20 minutes ago by this point. All right. Well, let's focus on the end of the stretch. Semi-final here, and it's okay. It's only a $2,000 ball someone's going to throw here. All right. I just wish the guy that's been working with this whole campaign didn't disappear. Maybe.
It's not 17. It just went up again.
Obviously, we're not going to move bowlers in this situation. It's all been all Hornacek in the scratch semi over there, despite the 2-8-10. That was about the only good thing that happened to Hansen in that match. Is Bobby's going to be in the 230s minimum. So it'll be Hornacek versus Spacey. The scratch title match.
It's not.
Meanwhile, we wait. this will not be the last ball on this lane either. James has to finish, right, on 68 in the 10th. Yeah. All they got to do is get the lights on. I know it's easier said than done. We don't care if they've got a hand spot to pin with this one. Yeah. Nice round of applause for Daniel Hansen. He was the Pac Northwest Scratch Bowler of the Year this year at only 15 years old. He's beating bowlers as old as 22 to win Bowler of the Year. That's a great accomplishment for another one of our tour's young guns. But in comes previous season's Bowler of the Year, Tanner Spacey in the Northwest, and we have 10s now. We have black.
We have kids.
Yeah, good guy. Good sign over here. Shauna's able to laugh about it. This is now a really, really unfortunate situation. That's not Shauna, that's Kurt. That's Shauna. Don't be fed up. He's roasting, toasting. We're going to run out of table. We're just going to sit here with this for a while. Got it. Getting mad. I'm getting mad for them because this is. Shot already?
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's still watching this video, here we go. It's the 5.9. That's any kind of spare. It's very, very nice there. If I figure out how to edit out the middle of the stuff, you missed about a 8-minute lane breakdown of the 9th frame of the TPC title match.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate all the way around, but listen, who can overcome whatever obstacles are put in front of them? Shauna leads by 5, spare working in the 10th. And she comes up with the strike in the 10th. Absolutely brilliant stuff to recover from the delay, physically, mentally, etc. But still, Over that scoreboard, there's McGuff sitting on that strike in the 9th frame. Literally anything can still happen here. You just don't know with the middle average bowlers. If Shauna can double, she'd extend her lead to 15. I believe would force James to double too. Let's see if she can get it. It's over. What an unbelievable break in a key situation. The runaway Brooklyn gets the 10 to somehow just give up. I think that's a you're welcome very much for the 8-minute delay right there. That might have been a slow-mo replay. See if the mechanic's hand showed up on that one to apologize. Because that is an enormous break. She can't shut out McGuff though. But he's going to have his work cut out for him. Alright, finishes up with the 8th count. Yeah, no, that was an 8, not a 9. And while I was getting that score changed and explaining the situation to make it perfectly clear, James does not get the strike in the 10th. It's not going to be enough for McGuff after a tournament-leading week. We just watched Jason Milmani lead the U.S. Open by roughly 1 infinity pins and not come up with the win in the title match. And the same thing's going to happen to McGuff. Shauna Schultz climbs the ladder and wins the TPC. Wow. Oh, there's drama comes in all sorts of different forms. I believe when Shauna played James in match play earlier today, she shot like a 101 or something. I know she wanted the revenge in that match. Am I right? She comes out. She's beside herself at the moment. Absolutely. Hats off to an absolutely stellar week from James. That's $1,000 for him. That'll make anybody feel better right there. Congratulations to Shauna. We will switch over to the Scratch Division title match right after this.